spoilers because the desert. Hey, how's it going? I got a question for you, dear viewer. Just one little query for you to ponder over. What are you afraid of? Now, there's no hidden meaning behind this, no second layer. I'm simply curious. What are you afraid of? Is it the haunting presence of a ghost or apparition? Is it the gory bloodbath of a ferocious serial killer? Is it spiders? It's okay, you can tell me if you're afraid of spiders. You fucking scaredy cat. Oh, look at this fucking guy saying he's afraid of spiders. Oh my god, a moth! What the f? Kill it, kill it, kill it! Maybe your fear is a bit more abstract. Perhaps your fear is the unknown.
What is that? It's the unknown.
Yeah, there's quite nothing like a scare that preys on your own imagination. A dark hallway where you can't see the end. The sound of distant screams from a nearby forest. A text from your girlfriend stating, "Can we talk?" Ooh. Now, to properly execute a fear like this, there's a certain line you have to toe. You don't want to give away too much, but also, you don't want to be too vague, leading your audience to end the movie with questions rather than super scary emotional feelings. Yeah, but what happens when someone does do that? What happens when a movie abuses this fear to the point where there is so much left to interpretation that you don't even know how to follow what's happening, unless you watch a 30-minute YouTube video explaining each and every detail that apparently flew right over your head? What happens when a movie relies too much on your imagination? It sucks. Kinda. It kinda sucks. Kinda. I present to you The Outwaters. Or as I like to call it, 2 hours of my life I will never get back. Well, actually, I've watched it twice now, so I guess that makes it 4 hours? I don't know. Math is hard. Let me start this off by saying The Outwaters is not the worst horror movie I've ever seen. And to be honest, it's not even close. But of all the spooky flicks that I have seen over the whole lot of years that I've been alive, The Outwaters is without a doubt one of the most frustrating ones. What do I mean by that? Well, fucking don't interrupt me and I'll tell you, damn. The Outwaters is a 2022 found footage horror movie about a group of friends that go out into the Mojave Desert to film a music video. But oh no, chaos ensues when the gang becomes suddenly terrorized by something. I think. I don't know. According to the IMDb page that I definitely did not just gloss over, it was directed and written by Robbie Banfitch, and it stars Angela Basilis, Scott Schimmel, Michelle May, and Robbie Banfitch. From what I see with the reviews, they're kinda all over the place. I mean, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 75%, but when has Rotten Tomatoes ever given a horror movie an accurate score? Oh yeah, so I know what you're thinking. How did I hear about this frightening little spectacle? Well, I was recommended it by a friend who messaged me on Discord one day to let me know that I should watch it. The conversation kind of went like this. Hey there, Crusader, it's me, your friend. Ah, hello, it is you, my friend. What brings you to whatever background I have edited us into? Well, I just thought I would let you know I heard of one of those horror flicks that I thought you should try called The Outwaters. Go on and give it a watch, why don't you? Oh, sure, thanks. I'll go check it out. Dude, are you okay? Anyway, yeah, I watched it. As the video title states, it frustrated me. So, without further ado, I now present to you The Outwaters and why it frustrated me when I watched it, and then a second time, and I was also frustrated that time. But equally as frustrated as the first time, so the frustration was consistent. Yeah. First, I'm going to state some things that I definitely don't have a problem with. One being the location. The Mojave Desert is a pretty good idea of a place to shoot a found footage horror movie. The vast emptiness of the desert was a very creepy atmosphere, whether it was day or night. Another good aspect of this movie was its marketing. These posters look really cool. I wouldn't say that all of them really fit the movie exactly, like this one just kind of looks like an edgy album cover, but then again, one of the characters is a singer, so like maybe that's what they were going for? I don't know, but they look cool. Next, I gotta talk about what fully convinced me to watch this movie. The trailer. It is really good. It is very rare that a trailer for a movie makes me uneasy, but this one actually did that. It's creepy, well edited, and doesn't give away really anything about the plot besides the fact that they're in the desert. If I was grading this movie on marketing alone, this trailer would single-handedly give it an A+. Because of this one little 2-minute teaser, before I had even watched the movie, I was already hooked. But then I did watch the movie, and now honestly, I'm kind of indifferent to the trailer, I guess, but alright, let's talk about this movie's plot. So we start with a black screen and a 911 call. We see pictures of the 4 main characters pop up on the screen as we hear what can only be described as shit going down happen on the phone. The 911 operator tries to figure out what's going on, but only gets muffled screams in return. Okay, this opening is pretty epic. Just like the trailer, it's insanely creepy and does not give away anything about what happens to these characters. We then cut to the 2 brothers, and they're doing stuff, I guess. We get a hint of what they're like. Robbie is nice, and Scott is also nice, but kind of awkward, I guess. Then we meet Michelle, the singer of the group, who is, you guessed it, singing. And here we come across the worst part of this entire movie. This fucking song. I mean, the vocals are good, but the tempo is way too slow, and at one point she rhymes a little baby with go to sleepy. What the fuck is go to sleepy? If I was a child and my mom said it's time to go to sleepy, I would start screaming, because that ain't my mom. That's a skinwalker. Anyway, we then meet the 4th member of the group, Angela. She's going with them to the desert to do Michelle's makeup or something. It doesn't really matter. So the 2 brothers then go see their mom before meeting up with the girls to head out into the desert. I know I just massively glossed over it, but the setup to this movie is not bad. It may be a little basic, sure, and some more time spent on establishing the characters would have been good, especially on the cameraman, who seems to be the least developed of the 4, but I don't really mind. Found footage horror movies are never really supposed to wow you in the first act, and I don't expect this one to. As long as you bring the scares, to hell with character development. You guys are bringing the scares, right? So once we make it to the Mojave Desert, the characters start doing stuff. Basically, we just kind of get a handful of scenes with these characters just kind of vibing in the desert. Again, it's kind of just basic stuff, nothing really weak, but nothing really strong either. So finally, after a bunch of music video filming and other desert-related shenanigans, the gang has their first night in the desert. But wait, there's some kind of weird thunder-like noise going on out there. Huh. Strange. Oh, night's over. Okay. Okay, I see what's going on. So this is gonna be like a slow burn kind of thing. Cool. Oh wow, next night already. I wonder what subtle phenomena the characters will experience this night. Oh, we're just going from 10 to 100 already. Okay, well, that's good too. I think Robbie got stabbed? Question mark? I'm honestly not sure. Then Michelle and Angela start freaking out. I'm guessing because Robbie's got like blood on him and stuff, and that's pretty gross. It is at this point that I must introduce to you all what is by far the absolute worst component of this entire movie. What song? What are you talking about? The worst component of this entire movie is this fucking flashlight. I have never in my entire life seen a more useless flashlight in a movie than this one. Jesus Christ. How are you supposed to see anything with that? It's so bad. And now to talk about the second worst component of this movie. The rest of the movie. How do I even describe the rest of this movie. Do you remember when you were a kid and you were watching a random superhero movie or something, but you were young and had no attention span, so you just kind of skipped to the cool fight scenes, cutting out any of the context? Imagine that, but also every 10 minutes you alternated between opening and closing your eyes. And that's pretty much the entire second half of this movie. I don't know how to describe the rest of the plot because from here on out everything becomes so vague. It is, and I'm not exaggerating here, 50 fucking minutes of just things happening. And to be fair, some of the things are kind of cool. I guess. At one point the cameraman gets attacked by like demon snakes. So, you know, that's something. He's also underwater at some point. So that's a thing. He also gets naked and is heard moaning throughout the entire ordeal. So if you're into that, I don't know. This movie's fucking weird. To top it all off, right before all this shit goes down, Robbie gets like hit in the head or stabbed or something, and it kind of makes him lose his mind. So thanks to that, not only are we watching a naked guy with a camera who we know almost nothing about traverse day and night through the desert, while the most strange, unexplainable, kind of goofy things happen to him, most of which we can barely see because of this stupid, useless fucking flashlight. Not only that, but our character that we're following, our eyes and ears through this entire plot, is reacting to the things around him as if he was just lobotomized. What else happens? Well, at one point we hear a voicemail from Robbie's mom saying she had a bad dream and that he was in it. Then I think we see him like enter her dream or something, but like the dream already happened. So what? Anyway, yada yada yada, a bunch of other stuff I can barely make out. He goes to fucking space, and then we cut to the other. Oh yeah, there's other characters in this movie. They're dead. Bummer. So Robbie stares at what was once his friends and brother for what seems like hours. Then he says goodbye to just Michelle, doesn't even acknowledge his brother, and runs off away into the desert. I just want to take the time right now to say while I have been trashing this movie for quite a bit, the practical effects look top notch, like no shade towards those. These heads of the dead characters standing on the pike look very wicked. I just wish they were in a movie that I could fucking follow. But regardless, we have reached the end of the movie. Oh wait, I guess I paused it too early. There's still a few minutes left. But I mean, I doubt anything crazy will happen in the last few minutes. I don't think this movie could do anything that would possibly catch me off guard after all the stuff I just saw. Unless he started cutting off his junk or something. What is he doing? Why did he grab that sharp rock? What is he... Oh god, what the fuck, why? Oh, holy shit, he cut it clean off, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god. Why is he picking at it like it's a vegetable he doesn't want to eat? What the f? So, the ending to this movie is, kind of weird. So after he leaves his dead friends' heads, he cuts himself with a rock, then walks away into the desert, leaving the camera. And then we go to the credits. Great. So, throughout this entire movie, while I analyzed this film's plot, I really began to ask myself the big million-dollar question. Is this movie scary? Fucking no. There are a few well-shot scenes that evoke a minor feeling of creepiness, but like, someone who has watched this movie, please tell me, what is scary about any of this? Disturbing? Maybe. Unsettling? Possibly. Confusing? Oh, absolutely. I understand the desire to leave what is happening under this great sense of mystery, but there's a line between mysterious and just mind-bogglingly confusing, and unfortunately this movie crosses it. There is good that can come out of having a super vague plot, but when it's to this degree, it tends to only raise dozens of questions while providing no answers. I swear, the biggest thing I found myself doing while watching this movie was just wondering, what were those big thunderous noises? What is the importance of filming in the Mojave Desert? Did the side characters all die immediately? Or did they also go through what Robbie went through? Why wasn't Robbie's head put on a spike? Is he special? Why did he see the past version of himself at one point? Is he caught in some sort of demonic time loop? Why did he start mangling himself in the end of the movie? Was he trying to unalive himself? What store did he get this f***ing useless flashlight from? And can I legally blow it up? Why did Robbie's mom have a dream about him? And did the dream take place before, after, or during the scene where he sees his mom? When did that 911 call from the beginning take place? And who called it? Did they even have service out there? Most importantly, why did Robbie even film this? Why is it that after all of that, all that we just watched, this is the moment he decides to put the camera down? I got all these questions repeating over and over in my head, and that was just on the first watch. It sucks because this movie had so much potential. You've got such a creepy location to film on. I mean, just look at this background, man. You have so many possible options you could do with this, and what you came up with is just frustratingly disappointing. And you know what? There is a world where I could forgive this. I could forgive the bland characters and the non-existent plot if it was just fucking scary. But it's not. Although, I think with one teeny tiny tweak it could have been. My main gripe with this movie is we just straight up don't understand what's going on, and we rarely get any hints of what's happening. Additionally, I can't even tell if the characters know what's happening. Especially Robbie, who just loses his mind right before the major stuff happens, which is frustrating. Robbie is our only cameraman. He is the only way that we see the plot unfold. And right when the spooky stuff happens, he basically stops acting like a human being. I mean, he reacts more like a guy experiencing his first ever post-nut clarity, rather than someone who is witnessing what I assume is some sort of demonic Lovecraftian horror. And while the intention is most likely for the audience to go, "Whoa, what is happening to this guy? This is fucking creepy." Instead, it's more of, what the hell am I watching? What is the cameraman doing? Why is he making those noises? This is fucking weird. So, quick pitch. What if we didn't make Robbie go insane? What if instead of being weird and making weird noises and getting naked, we made Robbie react as if the audience would react? That way, since you've now made Robbie say, "What the fuck is happening?" then the audience is still confused, but at least this way they'll feel like it's okay to be confused. Because then it's like, man, this cameraman is right. What is happening? This movie is creepy. Now, whether this change would make the overall movie better or more digestible is up for debate. But in my eyes, it would make this movie much scarier. So yeah, the title of this video is no lie, this movie frustrates me. I wouldn't call it horrible because there are some really good components in here. Like I said, the location is really good, and the practical effects are pretty much perfect. Even the penis. Also, really specific praise, but I loved Leslie Ann Banfitch as the mom of the two brothers. I thought her acting was by far the best of the movie. I genuinely felt so bad for her when her voicemail played on the screen. It was one of the only parts of the movie where I stopped thinking about the plot and simply just felt something, so props to her. So yeah, Outwaters is an admittedly bold take on the found footage horror genre, but that bold level of risks it chooses to take unfortunately end up holding it back exponentially. While it's definitely not boring, and as far as independent found footage horror movies go, there are definitely worse things to put on. To me, its attempts at frightening the watcher are just simply muddled by its head-scratching story. 4.75 out of 10. You know, despite my low ranking, I do recommend you watch it. I'm actually really curious as to what other people think about this movie. Maybe some of you out there see something in it that I don't. Hell, there's probably someone out there who knows exactly what happened in every scene because they analyzed every frame of Robbie's cut off Vienna sausage or something. I don't know. But anyway, like and subscribe and all that. I don't know. I'm gonna go lay down or something. This video gave me a fucking headache. And that useless flashlight.